Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Game Builder. Now, you might notice that between the last video to this video, there have been some changes. The reason for that is because, well, I'll be honest, I tried to save myself a little bit of encoding time, since every 10 minutes of recording takes about 30 minutes to actually encode and render out. And so I decided I would try and just do it on the fly. Well, yeah, that didn't work at all. The final render of it produced a video that was about, I'd say maybe 3 minutes in length at most, with everything going in super fast forward speeds, with the audio running at the standard speed that you're hearing right now, which is not the desired effect that is wanted when I do something like this. But some of the things I did while that video had been recording was I put together the basics of our main while loop here. This is our main loop. It's just, it says while it's not done, which done is the boolean up here, which is false. Done is false. So it's while it's not done, you do all the code that is enclosed within this loop, which include, but aren't limited to, checking for input events, checking the input booleans to move you around as necessary, the kill switch on the loop, the firing loop, calculating the shots as they fly, and then, of course, rendering everything. And then this then updates the screen. This then sets the computer to rest to cap the frame rate at 120, I do believe, yeah. Caps it at 120 frames per second. I may drop that down a little bit lower to probably about 60 if the game is moving too fast. Okay, so that's all that. Now, something else I also did is we are getting rid of this auto resolution detection. I've done some research, I dug into it when I did some build tests and some run tests. I'm running dual screens, and the window that came up was bigger than the two screens combined. It was set higher than the resolution of this screen, and then on my other screen it was too wide, and there was no way I could figure out how to fix that. And so I'm putting this into a static window of 800 by 600 pixels, which is relatively small, but the reason for that is because no matter what your resolution setting is on a widescreen or on a full screen desktop, that will fit properly on both sides, at least until I can figure out some way of getting maybe SDL 2.0 or another API put into this system, so that this way I'll be able to actually figure out how to make it detect just a single monitor. But as of right now, what is installed currently on this system, which is SDL 1.2, that's not available, so I'm not going to even try it with this project. I'm not even going to worry about that right now. I'll worry about that at a later time. Okay, so let's give this a quick build, and we'll see how everything looks real fast. Okay, it built successfully, took it about 2 seconds. And it's running over here, and it does not appear. Let's bring this into the capture here. As you will notice, the screen is blank. Now, the reason why the screen is blank is because we haven't placed anything on the screen just yet. So, well, the close button doesn't work. We need to remedy that. But if you hit escape, it's done. As you can see here, if you hit the escape key, done equals true, it ends the loop. Down here, returns 0, exits happy, done. So in here real fast, while it's checking events, we'll say if, else, if event dot type is equal to SDL quit. Well, let's make sure that that's event and not even. There we go. And then we just say done equals true. And that will allow the little close button to work like it's supposed to. Okay, well let's place where we want you to be at on the screen, which we will put that here. Put you dot Okay, well, we've got public X and Y coordinates, but we don't want to do that. I don't want to use those because I may lock those down later, and I don't want to have to deal with that at a later point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here into my player class. I'm not going to call anything. I'm going to make a place function, and I'm going to put two parameters in it. I'm going to put in A and B. There, and you don't want to go with X and Y because otherwise nothing happens. So X will equal A, and then Y, no, it's Y, there we go, equals B. I don't know what is wrong with me, but I just cannot type this morning. Okay. We have our placement function set up now. So, just call u.place right there. We have to pass the two parameters to it, so we'll just say place it at 400 and 550. And that then places our character on the screen, or at least it should. And he's already being rendered right here. Right there. So let's give this a build real fast, and now let's see how this works. Whoa! Okay, well, I realize what's happened here. Okay, if we go back up into the player class, that big yellow box was us, but I forgot some things. I have not initialized W and H by default, which I really should have. The width and the height parameters of the character are necessary to establish the width of the box. Now those are probably initialized either at 0 or at some negative value, and as a result we had that giant yellow screen taking up most of our screen, or that giant yellow box taking up most of our screen. So we go W equals let's say A plus, let's say 25, and then do the same thing there. And let's give it another build. And there we go. Okay, well, he moves insanely fast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce what our move speed is on this. Change it from 4 to 1. Let's do another build. And another run. Okay, well that's certainly more reasonable. Okay, well that works. So let's see here. Okay. Okay, well, something that we need to do at the beginning of everything before it's actually rendered, and this is actually something I forgot about, we need to make the screen completely black. And the easiest way that I can remember off the top of my head is we just make a box, red, green, blue, alpha, draw it to the buffer, it starts at 0 by 0, goes to 800 by 600, it's 32-bit, no, that's not it, we then do it 0, 0, 0, 255. This means there's no alpha to it at all. It is a solid picture. It's not transparent, but the color is going to be black. So let's give this another build. Wait, what? Okay, I'm missing something. Okay, so, oh, right there, I'm missing a comma. Okay, well, a little bit of debugging there for your entertainment. So there we go. Let's give this a shot now. Okay, as you can see, it's moving like it's supposed to now. And we're not smearing anywhere. This is good. So let's hit escape. Let's back out of that. And now, let's see if... Well, let's get the shot placements running here before we start trying to do all that. Let's place this, and then we will go u dot x plus, we'll say 7, and u dot y plus 1. There we go. This way, if the shot hasn't been fired, it'll place the shot right near your coordinates and then start shooting it upwards, and then it should start flying up towards the screen. So let's give this a little run real fast and see what this does. There we go. Well, okay, well that did it at first there. So that's good. It only fired once, which is rather odd. So actually, the better place for all of this code would actually be up here in the event loop. And the reason for this is because that loop runs incredibly fast. This while loop does, and it's very easy, unless you are extremely light-fingered, that you can lead finger your button down for that 120 cycles per second that the thing has been capped at, and that's what the frames are. It's how many times the loop runs in a second, and it is very easy to hold your finger on the button for 120 milliseconds, 120 frames per second by accident. So we'll stick this into the main input loop up here, where it'll only detect it when you press it down. And we'll see if this... Okay, well that's not going any better. Think here. What is it that I could do to try and space out the shots a little more. Let's take it out of there. Let's just, you know what, let's just undo everything. Okay. We're back to where we were before. Now, you need to press the control button. It needs to fire the shot, and then we will set keys. You know what, let's just copy here. We will paste there. And then we will say equals false. Let's change these to ands, not ors, so that this way we can make absolutely certain that it sets the correct key to false. Give it another build, but lovely. Okay. Let's do it this way then. Was thinking I could do something better than this, but it appears that this is all that I'm stuck with. Just say that equals false, and we'll just set each one of them to false manually. So that way if they are false, it's not going to be a problem. If they aren't false, it will be as soon as that bullet is fired. And let's see, I'm going to need to put a logic statement. It'll have to be in this loop here. And then say if shots I dot y is less than -4. Yeah, there we go, -4. Then shots I dot shot equals false. There we go. This will then reset the shot after it's gone out of the screen, so that we can then return it back to our player, so where it can then be shot again. There we go. As you can see, it's working. Whee! Shooting at nothing in particular. Boy, that goes incredibly fast. Actually, we are shooting all our bullets at one time. That's almost distressing. Well, we will look into maybe... Well, actually, you know what? Let's just cap the frame rate right now at 60, and we will see what exactly that does now. Let's just take a look, just for fun. Okay, well, it is still firing very quickly. Okay. Well, now that we have the shots happening at any rate, we'll then start putting some boxes on the screen that we can then shoot, and then after we get the boxes going, I'll just set it up to where the boxes are just sitting in place, and you shoot them, and then they disappear, and then we will worry about making the boxes move and all of that, but we will get all of that into the let me try this again. We'll get into all of that in the next video.